What is going on, guys? It's Isaac Parks here, also known as Isaac Punts to some of you guys. And today we're going to be taking a look at the FAU versus UNC Charlotte game. UNC Charlotte is my alma mater. I was invited out to the game last night to come watch and come just enjoy the awesome special teams performances that happened last night. But what you're going to see is maybe that the game ended up not being so awesome. So we're going to take a look at the game going forward here for my UNC Charlotte people. I also recorded some of the FAU clips for you guys. You can see both sides if you're an FAU punter watching this, or if you're a UNC Charlotte player, kicker, anybody, and I'm just going to be shooting it straight. I'm not going to be talking trash about anybody, but if you missed it, you missed it. If you made it, you made it. That's all I'm going to say. So the game opens up with a long drive from UNC Charlotte after receiving the FAU kickoff, and we get down here and Cruz gets on the field to go try to convert a 44-yard field goal. So this was my view of it. I saw it went up. It looked pretty good, and then I see the refs give it the no good signal, so I went and found the original clip for you guys. There you go. It ended up being wide right. And then this was followed up by a FAU drive that was fumbled, and then Cruz himself got another chance to make up for the missed field goal by converting this 27-yarder. And I was like, okay, cool, he missed one. Boom, he gets a chance to make one, puts it through with some room, kicks it into the stands for a lucky fan to catch. And then I was like, oh yeah, he's going to be firing on all cylinders now. I knew he was going to be hyped up, especially after this kickoff. You see he lines up, absolutely drills it, lands about 9 deep in the end zone. That's an absolute dinger from Jonathan. Well, then FAU gets the ball back, is able to drive it down the field, and they come away with a touchdown, making the score 6-3 until another good extra point makes it 7-3. And then here's the first time we get a look at FAU's kickoff scheme. So one thing that I like about FAU's kickoff guy is, if you look, he's got that little cartoon run right before he starts. You ever know, like, when a cartoon guy gets scared and they start running but don't go anywhere? So he kind of does that right there, and it made me chuckle the whole game. So I made sure to record a lot of his kickoffs because it's just something that I find good. The coverage on kickoff unit was great. Not that I think number 13 particularly made it hard for them to cover. But then after this, we got our first punt of the day, and of course, right before he punts it, somebody steps right in front of the camera. Ends up being a pretty decent hit. Once again, the return unit for Charlotte just not really doing their part in making guys miss. And then right here, we have a really crucial 4th down conversion. I'm showing this because I thought it should have been a punt, but it ends up working out for him. You see the tight end just break free, make a really nice route, get down, pick up the first down, which ends up leading to a UNC Charlotte score. And here I was like, okay, yeah, so Cruz is finally getting fired up. He made a field goal. We are locked in. There's about to be 10-7, right? Ignore the fact that it looks like I was trying to record this during an earthquake. He gets the ball off. And I was, from that angle, it looked good. And then I see, no good. Yeah, so Cruz is now down bad right now. That takes him straight into halftime. And then finally, we're able to see the man, the myth, the legend, Bailey Rice approach from the locker room. And I'm like, finally, I'm going to be able to see some punting out here, because all I've been able to see is just a bunch of kicking. There's been one punt in the first half. So I'm following Bailey, and honestly, Bailey's looking kind of confused. He's looking around. He doesn't know where to go. He wants to punt. Cruz wants him to hold. I don't even think Bailey's the primary holder on the team, but he doesn't really know what's going on, and to be quite fair, neither do I. But finally, I see some punting action happening. Looks like an Australian lefty out of FAU. I'm not sure he's Australian. I'm actually going to go check that right now. And if he turns out to be Australian, everybody owes me $5. And who would have guessed it? He turns out to be Australian. Matt Hayball out of Australia. Sometimes you can just tell with the form. It might just be a kicking coach thing, but whether they're kicking spirals or not, you can tell. So Cruz elicits the help of Bailey to get some holds in, because when you're kind of having a bad night, why not make sure that nobody else on your team gets any work in either? So Bailey ends up holding for almost this entire period. He still has a good game after this, but right here is a time I definitely thought he could have found somebody else to hold from him. We'll get a look at the backup kicker here, Max. Absolutely doinking one off the crossbar. So it looks like special teams is just not firing on all cylinders at every part of the game for the UNC Charlotte 49ers. Well, then I'm able to watch a couple more punts by the Aussie from FAU. And then Cruz takes a couple more field goal hits. And he's starting to look a little bit more consistent, a little bit cleaner, making all of these. And then finally, Bailey Rice is able to unleash his leg after this hit because the guy I'm here to see. So I'm like, that gummit, I'm gonna make sure I get some of him punting here. So he's able to uncork a couple punts here, and it's just beautiful to watch, guys. He just does it so effortlessly. I mean, Bailey's a really just a true tactician, master of his craft. Get some pretty good lift on those punts, I'm not gonna lie to you. So it was just great to see that he's finally being able to hit some. Now, does he hit spirals in games? Don't worry about it, okay? Yeah, so part of me knew that there wasn't going to be a lot of punting this game, which is why I made sure to get some of the punts that Mr. Bailey Rice did get here at halftime. Because as we approach the second half, guys, it gets sloppy. So going into this half, it is 9-6 in favor of Charlotte. And I'm like, okay, Charlotte's playing a pretty good game, pretty clean game. To open up this half, Cruz coming out of a stellar halftime performance doesn't really catch this one. Okay, kind of hits a knuckler, kind of fades to the left out of bounds. And then here you see that FAU is able to start with a pretty good field position in the 35-yard line, get a very clean drive down the field, score, and make the extra point, which is something that's, valuable for teams to do. So then Charlotte goes, and they're going to get the ball back on this kickoff. We get to see 46. Really, I think I can build up that little bit of momentum. Here we go. Chugga, 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 chugga. Boom! Okay? And he starts to really bang him here. This one goes out the back of the end zone. Great kick by 46. Not really much to watch there on the kickoff unit. And then Charlotte gets quickly shut out as an earthquake hits. It's definitely not my shaking hands trying to record this. Bailey's able to catch it. He does his little Aussie spiral backspin thing. The guy catches it. You have some of the first yards against Charlotte. So Charlotte actually coming into this game had -6 punting yards allowed against them. And I think that just brought them into the positives. But as you're able to tell, FAU gets the ball back, and guess what they do? They score, chugga chugga, choo choo, I think I can kick this ball at the back of the end zone, and so he does. And then, Charlotte right here, this is where it gets a little bit messy, because guess who's back out on the field 4 plays later? Yeah, it's Bailey. So he lines back up there, does what he does best. Okay, he catches the snap, shuffles a little bit out to the right, just kind of holds the ball however he feels like holding it in his traditional Aussie way, catches it, throws another shrimp on the Barbie, and walks off the field. And then from here, guess what? Charlotte actually makes a stop. So number 15, the lefty Aussie, comes back out to punt for FAU. A Mr. Matt Hayball rolls out to the left, hits his little version of that punt, drives it a bit more than Bailey does. The guy starts to make a little bit of a return, and then Jesus Christ gets a body slammed by about 3 people. Where's the coverage unit? I'm not sure, but I think number 45 was the long snapper. An interception later, 46 is back out on the field, doing his best Sonic the Tank engine impression, puts it out the back of the end zone. We don't make a return, and then here you see it's starting to get a little sad. The crowd's kind of thinned out a little bit. As you can see, this whole section's empty. That whole section was full there before. And let's take a look. So going into the half, it was 9-28. And then now it is about to be 31-28 as they line up here for the field goal. He knocks it through. So the score is 31-28. It's starting to get a little bit sad. Chugga choo choo, here comes the pain train. 46 puts it down there. This one looks like it's going to be returnable, and this is probably Charlotte's best return of the night. So he runs down there, gets his head low, boom, spins off of one guy. The other guy ends up bringing him down. I think it takes him across the 35-yard line, or at least the 30-yard line, sets him up in good field position for, you guess it, an interception. Here's where number 5 runs it in immediately after the interception. And guys, honestly, it starts to get a little bit down bad for the Charlotte team here. And it's just a little bit sad. It's just a little bit hard to see. The crowd has thinned out that much more during this time. They walk back on, and I told myself if they make this PAT, yeah, I'm just going to head out after this. So let's see what happens here from our number 46. Yeah, he makes the PAT. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this game. If you do, please give the video a like. I hope you guys are having a good one. And as always, I'll see you guys on the next one.
Taggart has assembled a heck of a staff, and it looks like